කුමාර් පොන්නම්බරම් මන්ත්‍රීතුමා ඔබතුමාට මිනිත්තු 8ක කාලයක් තියෙනවා.
Thank you, Honourable Presiding Member. I wish to state on record a few observations, Honourable Member, with regards to His Excellency the President's comments to the Secretary General of the United Nations when he had met the Honourable Secretary General in New York on the 19th Sunday. And the Presidential Office has issued a formal statement with regards to that meeting. Now, in that statement, Honourable Presiding Member, His Excellency is supposed to have stated, the President said that the internal issues of Sri Lanka should be resolved through an internal mechanism of the country, and said the Tamil diaspora would be invited for discussions in this regard. Now, I find that quite amusing, Honourable Presiding Member, that His Excellency can go to New York and make such a statement, because it is this very same government, within days of coming to power, chose to list as illegal organizations or banned organizations a number of organizations representing the Tamil diaspora, and went on to include a number of individuals who hold a lot of respect amongst the diaspora, who potentially could have in fact been interlocutors. By listing them, you made sure that no such meaningful dialogue can in fact take place, and that makes this statement sound extremely hollow for you to go to the United Nations after doing that, after taking those steps within days of coming to power, and to go and make this sort of claim. Not only that, he has not stopped at that. He has gone on to say that with regards to missing persons, death certificates would be released and that action would be taken, that he would expedite action. What is that action? Once again, before he left, he had the audacity to tell the families of missing persons and some of these organizations, forget about the past. Don't bother looking for your loved ones. So what is the action that he is going to take, that he is going to expedite? Purely issuing death certificates without even bothering to look at the circumstances under which those individuals are murdered by the security forces. So that is the impunity that His Excellency the President is choosing to get a rubber stamp from the UN. If the United Nations chooses to back these sort of steps, we will condemn those steps unreservedly, because this goes counter to every single principle that the United Nations claims that it stands for. And that, I think, must be placed on record. He has also gone on to say that with regards to the political prisoners, that he has released quite a few soon after he came to power. Those prisoners were going to be released anyway within a year. He didn't do anything extraordinary. He wanted to release a convicted prisoner, convicted in the sense that it went up to the Supreme Court. One of his Goliaths went up to the Supreme Court. He wanted to pardon that gentleman, and in the process to make it out as if he's being quite magnanimous, he chose to include a few Tamil names there of prisoners who are anyway going to come out within a year. That is the truth. So there is these statements that he claims to use in the international fora to somehow gain some sort of credibility, I think ring extremely hollow, Honourable Presiding Member, and that must be stated. Then to match the President, to compete with His Excellency, we have a Foreign Minister who actually I used to venerate when I was a law student, study his books, and we used to think that he was some sort of god. Unfortunately, when he came into politics, once he came into politics, all of that has gone out of the window. The Honourable Foreign Minister is shocking what he has said. made a statement, a statement by the Foreign Minister, Professor G.L. Pires, at the ministerial sessions of Foreign Policy and Religion at the G20 Interfaith Forum in Bologna, Italy, has said this. Then I quote, then the final point I want to make is this, that we have to look at ethnic and religious political parties. That is also a critical problem with regards to the formulation of foreign policy, and in many of our countries we have political parties that profess overtly to be ethnic in character and in complexion. We represent this group, we represent this religion. I don't think this is a good idea. It does a great deal of damage, in my opinion. In my own country, Muslim Tamil members of the minority communities have reached the pinnacle of political power and authority as members of the national political parties. National political parties? When the vast majority of Tamils and Muslims choose to vote for their own parties representing their own communities because they have no faith in these national parties, you have one or two individuals whom the Honorable Foreign Minister points to say that in fact these Tamils and Muslim people are fully with them, with the government, and not with, in fact, the other parties representing the Tamils and the Muslims. This is another dishonest statement. For an intellectual like the professor to be making such statements only shows his intellectual dishonesty, and that is unfortunate given his past where he was so very highly held in regard. Not only that, he has chosen deliberately to hide the fact that the party to which he belongs, or to which he belonged earlier, the SLFP, was instrumental in making sure that Sri Lanka became so polarized by stating that Sri Lanka is only Sinhala, is only for the Sinhalese. And you have a president, his president today boasts that it is only the Sinhalese people who voted him into power. So when you have sectarian words coming out from the president and the foreign minister themselves in that way, for him to go to international fora of this nature and mislead that forum or those fora is, I think, something that must be condemned. And I think it is important that the House and other members of the House be brought to the attention of these sort of actions. I thank you.